Good morning, guys. Chris from Ultimate Recycler. It's episode 70 of the Great Farm Cleanup. I've just finished filming the guy with the excavator down the machinery graveyard smashing up machines. So if you're new to the channel and you enjoy machinery, check out the last episode. He's still working away down there. I couldn't stand there and watch him all day, as entertaining as it was. I need to get the van packed. We need to get some beds in. So we've got to get this farmhouse completely empty, other than a few really basic things that I need when I come back to stay, which might only be one more time, maybe two tops, I think. So let's go and have a look what I've got to put in the van. We started with the really heavy bed, one of those electric adjustable beds, and they're super heavy. Let's have a stroll out to the shed for those that haven't seen the farm. What's left of it? It's deteriorating fairly rapidly. Mum and Dad lived here for 61 years. I grew up here, and it's been vacant for most of this year. Mum moved over to our Nagambie, where we live about 4 hours away, back in, was it February, March, I forget now. Half of the garden's gone. Ross, the new owner, is neatening up the place, getting it organised for his applications, which he's perfectly entitled to do because he now owns it. He has chopped down a few trees to make things easier to maintain. Now, my job today is to get the van full. We do have a few people coming to pick up stuff that I've advertised on Facebook. I've finished cleaning out all the sheds other than some basic stuff. So this series has detailed all the cleanups, the discoveries in the sheds, the loads of scrap metal, everything. So go and have a look if you're new to the channel. This bed, these are unbelievably heavy. It's adjustable both ends. It's got electric motors. It's got some sort of cam type set up to lift the head and lift the foot. I've got it on a piano trolley, but I had to make up a special piece there. You can see that sheet's wrapped around two aluminium ramps and a piece of wood, and then I've got another piece of wood on top to balance the load, because the bed obviously doesn't sit level when it's on its side. And when Mum first rang the company, because they're only, well, maybe a couple of years old tops, and they advised her, if you have to move them, you're going to need two strong men and specialised equipment. Well, this ageing 60-year-old with a false hip and a dodgy shoulder is getting him loaded himself, because I'm just that stubborn. So I've already done one. One's over at Mum's place. This is the other one we've got to take over. So I better move the van around, get the ramp set up, and we'll see if we can push it up. All right, I've opted for a double ramp system here just to extend it so it's not quite as steep. I often have trouble with this timber ramp when I'm pushing something heavy up, and my shoes don't get traction, and I get halfway up and the thing starts coming back at me and my feet just slip and we end up at the bottom. So this way the wheels will catch on the step, so it can't slide all the way back if I lose traction, and I reckon it's just reducing the angle should help a lot. So we'll give it a go. Okay, let's get it aligned. Now, whoops, now I've spun the bed around because I think it'll fit better against the wall of the van this way. Right, let's get it up the step, and hopefully we can make it to the top. Now, I don't want to come off the edge of the ramp. Okay, that step was handy. I might be able to pull it up, might be easier. Because at least I have better grip this way. Oh, it's going to slide on the boards. That's a problem. I can probably walk either side of the ramp. Oops, still going to slide on the boards. I'll have to pull the ramp. Whoop. Slippery boards are the problem. Oh, I think we saved it. Well, there we go. That's the hardest one in. They can stay on the trolley, and I've got another spare mattress behind it just to cushion it against the wall. I've got 2 mattresses now to stand up against it this side because there's another single bed in another room, but that's just a standard bed, so that's easy. Get those mattresses in, get the bed heads in, and then I can start filling the van with just little bits and pieces. There's a chest of drawers, just a bedside chest of drawers. There's a few little frames and the little stand the TV was on, so I'll start packing all those in. So I've had a pretty productive afternoon. The van's getting close to full. There's obviously a big sort of area at the back to fill up. I've got a couple more big pot plants to fit in, but I'm happy with what I got in there. All the beds, everything out of the house that needs to go at this stage, and I've started putting, you know, random shed stuff and stuff that's around the yard, like ladders. That's Dad's little ride-on trike thing. He used to actually have his golf sticks on the back of that. It's got 2 deep cycle batteries in it that are still pretty good. I think it runs fine. It's just been left in the shed and obviously no one's used it. So that will be fixed up to be sold, so I'll take that back to Ngambie. So we're starting to get some random stuff in now. The area around here is finally thinning out a bit. So I keep bringing more here from off the verandas. That lawnmower's got to go in next. I have had some success moving some stuff on Facebook today as well. There was some steel posts here, they've all gone, and a few from down the other side of the driveway have gone as well. Have a look at this. This is a perfect example of farming ingenuity, repurposing something else to do another job. As you see it, it was in the chook shed, and it's got shell grit, which is supposed to have grit available for chooks to eat because it helps their gizzard and allows them to grind up food. Now, it's not just a specialised shell grit stand. If we turn it over, it's an insulator, a heavy insulator, and the cap, a galvanised cap, off the top of a power pole. Who would have thought that would make an excellent shell grit dispenser? Pretty cool. I'm going to take that back to the shop. Someone will buy it as an insulator, although who knows, they might want to dispense animal food from it, something. So what else have we got done? Well, the Fergie's ready to go. I've contacted the golf club and they're going to pick that up shortly. I haven't got to the end of that shed yet. The little UTV there I've pretty well finished with, so that can probably go back to Ngambie on a trailer at some stage very shortly. This stuff will go on a tandem trailer to go back to Ngambie later on. It's not urgent, it can sit there for now. There's a guy coming later to pick up some feed troughs I've got down here. Oh, and the lady that was just here took some of the poly pipe for free, so there's not much of that left. And I advertised these poly feed troughs and the stand there for $50, so someone's coming to get that either this afternoon or in the morning, so that's good. I put the other galvanised iron on. No one wants that at this stage. We might leave that sit there until next time. And there was a hay feeder here and that went yesterday. So we've cleaned up a bit more stuff. We'll have a look through the house shortly, but I have a confession to make. I had a phone call from a friend in town and she's helping someone else clean out a house. And they're actually looking for someone to do the whole clean up job. But unfortunately, I'm not going to drive over here for our trip and do another big clean out. We would probably consider it in Ngambie. But I did get to have a look in the shed. And $450 later, I bought some stuff. I'll show you what I got. God, the flies are getting bad here. I hope they're not flying in front of the camera. Got a few rabbit traps. Nothing special, but they sell okay. There's no rare brands there. This, I do have to admit to pulling 2 things out of their rubbish skip. How's that for a very retro 1960s? It's willow. It's missing the lid, but I think I have a lid for it at home. So it's like a tin picnic basket. That was in the skip. I think with a lid, that's probably nearly a $50 item. And the best thing, of course, in the box, and many of you will recognise it straight off, is these oil bottles with the original tin tops. These are Castrol Wakefield ones. There's 4 of them, 3 of the large quart size, and 1 smaller, with a nice red top, 1 smaller pint size. So they're pretty good. They should bring at least $100 per bottle. The tops probably around about 100 each as well. So I told the lady I'm looking to double my money or I'm not interested, but she was more than happy to to hand them to me. I was I was honest, I think, with my appraisals, and I helped them value a lot of other stuff. There's a beer bottle here, an MBCV, circa 1910. Fairly common, but a nice bottle. It'll wash up nice. We'll probably get $20 for that. And how cool is this? I haven't seen one of these. Well, I've seen miniature TVs before, but this is probably a 1970s Rover mini TV and cassette and radio. So that's really cool. I haven't seen one of those before. The book's with it as well. Apparently they bought it brand new. I don't know what it's worth really. I allowed about 50 for it, but I think I'll take it home and at some stage give it a bit of a test and a clean up. Hopefully it works. It doesn't really need a restoration other than a clean up and what's happened with the back cover. Hopefully the clips aren't broken. I think they're okay. It probably just wasn't clipped in properly. The battery compartment's clean. There's no corrosion in there. Isn't that a cool piece? So as I said, I don't really know what it's worth. I allowed a bit for it, but you know, it'll be cool to play with. There's also a box here which has got a nice shell end on it. The other end has been painted white, but that end's quite nice. And the other thing I saved out of the skip was this picture. Now, the lady is an artist. She's still with us, but she's not very well. I was dealing with her daughter. And this is the business they used to have. So anyone local will know that it was Bev Buckley. And she was quite a talented artist. This must be one of her earlier drawings of the business they used to run, which was a mechanic's garage in Matoa. And it's in a nice old frame. The frame's much older, so she's obviously repurposed a frame. But that was in the skip. It's very dirty. It's had something spilt on it. And yes, there was so much stuff, you can't keep everything. But I'm going to clean it up and give it back to the Matoa Museum. I think that's where it belongs. It's part of Matoa's history. Sid and Bev ran the Matoa Motors for quite a long time while I was in town when I had a small engine business. Great people for the town. Sadly, we lost Sid a number of years back now, and Bev's not well. But anyway, she's moving to Queensland with her daughter, and they're cleaning up, and I got to pick some treasures. I got to help them out with a bit of advice and valuations, and I got a few things that I can make $1 on, so all good there. I hope you'll forgive me for buying stuff when I'm supposed to be cleaning up. Okay, I think we'll wind this episode up now, but we'll have a walk through the house first. You can see that veranda's cleaned off mostly. There's just a couple of pot plants I'm going to grab. And we'll have a wander through. I'm happy with what I've got done in the house. My aim this week was to make sure the house gets emptied as far as anything that we're taking back to Ngambie. So all the furniture you're looking at now in here stays. Although I might take those brown retro chairs, but I need them to sit on, obviously. The table can stay, the computer desk down there, the other desk right at the end, and the fridge are all staying. All I need to do in the house is just grab some little bits and pieces when I've finally finished here. Toaster, kettles, odds and ends. So this is the kitchen area, which is kind of an extension. It was kind of an office down this end. The microwave I will be taking back too, but I'm using it to reheat pies. Oh, that reminds me. Let me show you something. I saw this online one time, and I thought it was a good idea. Hang on, I'll turn the radio off. All right, we're in the freezer here. Here's a glass of water, and I've put a coin on top. It's frozen, and I've just put a coin on top. Now, I saw this online. I thought it was a great idea because I've got some pies here in the freezer, and I may not be back here for a month. And if the power happens to go off for a couple of days and these thaw out and then go off and then refreeze, when I get here, I'm going to put them in the microwave, and suddenly I've got a pie that's very dubious because it's refrozen. This will tell me, I thought this was cool, if the power goes off and the freezer thaws out, the water melts, the coin goes to the bottom of the glass. It'll refreeze, but if I come back here next time and the coin's at the bottom of the glass, I'm not eating those pies. Anyway, I thought that was a cool idea. I might as well try it. So there you go. The radio is something else that I'll take back later. That's pretty cool in itself. It's a cassette radio, so that one might go to my collection at some stage. The laundry is empty. Here's that Echo. I love talking about Echoes when I'm doing house lots. Nothing in the bathroom to take except my toothbrush. And we'll wander now into the lounge room, which is totally empty. No exceptions, absolutely totally empty. And to the left, we have what was Mum and Dad's room. That's where I got the heavy bed from. So that's now totally empty as well. You can see on the wall there's some white ants they'd actually eaten through, that's plasterboard. They'd come through the plasterboard into one of the supports of the dressing table and ate some of that wood. Pesky little blighters. Nice old door. So the house does show evidence that it is a very old house underneath all Dad's renovations over the years. A few of you have commented on this really 70s bamboo wallpaper. It's pretty cool. Built-in bookcases. Nothing in the hallway. And that used to be a door, but there was a linen closet there. And in this room, this was my brother's room, we just have some built-in cupboards. And that's it. Totally empty. And this door is my favourite door of the house. I think this might have been the original front door. I might have shown this one other time. But have a look at that. Isn't it got great character? Really old lock. The old stone type doorknob. Pretty cool. And round the other end of the hallway, or the little passage, we have what was my room when I was a kid. Originally this was actually the front veranda of the house, and this doorway I'm walking through would have been the front door. So our light's playing up a bit. So Dad built all these cupboards and things in. He was quite a decent handyman, like many farmers are. And to the left here we have another bedroom, which is where I'm staying, and I'm going to leave that bed there too. I've talked to Ross, and I could easily give it away on Facebook. It's quite a good queen size bed. Mum doesn't need it, she's got no room for it. And this again has a room, an extension that was a veranda, and Dad filled it in, and that door goes out onto the veranda where we came in before. So as you can see, the house is done and dusted. There is no more trolleying of heavy bits of furniture or anything to get out of here. All finished, other than a few sundries that I have to pick up when I finally leave this place for good. So there we go. Happy with that progress. So all I need now to do is finish loading the van, and tomorrow morning, or maybe later tonight, I might start another episode before we head back tomorrow lunchtime, and we'll go down the lane and see how Damien's gone. Now, I think he's still got a bit to go. He's been working all afternoon, and I can still see the excavator moving down there, but it looks like most of the machinery is gone. So thanks for coming along once again on this journey with me. It's great to have your company, and I love reading all your comments about the journey on cleaning up the farm. It almost feels like many of you are emotionally invested in the journey just as I am. So thanks for coming along. I appreciate your support. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.